1 chapter 19 we had completed till verse 4. So today we are going to continue from verse 5 onwards. So this is a continuation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Henceforth we will be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, so Srimad Bhagavatam, and so from Monday to Thursday. So let me begin. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 5. Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganga to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness, rejecting all other practices of self-realization. Because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. Here, Parikshit, who has done the heinous act of, speaking ill to the Rishi Muni, and thereafter what he has done is he has picked up a dead snake and put it round his neck, and because of that the son who had gone out comes back, understands who has done this, and he curses that person that he will be dead very soon and he will be bitten by the black bird, that snake bird as they call it. Now, because of that, when Parikshit comes to know about this, he has to atone for whatever wrong that he has done. Only the great people atone for their sins. Even in any other religion also, atonement is important. If you commit any grave errors in your life, you atone for those sins. So the atonement which is prescribed over here is to try to attain the ultimate state of realization, or as they call over here, consciousness with the divine, supreme divine consciousness. That means attain the highest state by meditating on the feet of the Lord. So here Maharaj Parikshit takes a very important location. That location is Ganga river. So Ganga is the main river from which the entire spiritual significance of India happens. So right from the Himalayas till West Bengal it flows, and there are various tributaries which joins this Ganga river. So as you know, Indraprasth, where Parikshit is, at that particular place, from there he goes closest to the Ganga river and he sits over there concentrating his mind on Sri Krishna. See, it is important to do meditation on the Lord. Here the idea is, when a person meditates on the divine, even in your normal meditation also, the idea is to first focus and then defocus. I have already explained to you all what is the meaning of this concentration and then defocusing. So here, imagining the entire Lord in front of your eyes. So Sri Krishna is to be imagined in the first place. He is to be brought inside the being. It is the way in which we do our prayers. So first we stand in front of an image of some God, and then when we focus and concentrate on that image, normally it is advised to concentrate and focus on the feet of the Lord. So when you concentrate on the feet of the Lord, that particular image in your consciousness enters your being. So what happens is, in the screen in front of you, the image appears. Even in your normal life also, whenever you are doing any concentration or focus on anything, the image appears inside. So in a similar manner, he concentrates the mind on Sri Krishna, rejecting all other practices of self-realization. Now, what are these practices of self-realization? See, when a person has to go towards the path of realizing the Lord, there are certain techniques and methods adopted by everybody, those who want to attain the divinity. So they will do pranayama, meditation, yogasana, so many other things, okay? Nam japa and all that. Now, in today's day and age, some people say that you have to do Nam japa. Why Nam japa? Simply because you cannot focus on anything. See, your mind is always wandering, no, here, there, here, there, here, there. So, the wandering mind cannot be focused onto one object. See, in our material worldly life, we are very focused. Somebody who wants money is focused on money. Somebody who is looking for marriage is focused on marriage. Somebody who is focused on getting children is only focused on getting children. You know this, no? Or you don't know this. But if you say to the same person, focus on the Lord, it is not possible for them. So the people, those who are supposed to focus on the Lord, do not focus on the Lord. So meditation teaches you to focus and then defocus. That means bring the image inside of you. So Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 5 says, Maharaj Parikshit sat on the banks of this river and did meditation on Krishna, rejecting all other practices of self-realization. That means every other practice that is required to be done, he rejected it. He said, no, I will not do any other thing. Because, see, think like this. You are a devotee of the Lord. Okay? When you are a devotee of the Lord, there is nothing else to do except take His name and focus on Him. Right? Now, I will ask you a question. In today's day and age, can you focus on the Lord? The answer is no, because nobody has seen the Lord. Nobody has seen the Lord. Correct? So then what can you do? You can only take His name. Got it? So just taking the name is all you can do. That is why Nam Japa. Otherwise, it is all about focusing on the Lord. So when King Parikshit was there, remember King Parikshit was saved by Sri Krishna himself when he was in the womb, correct? So naturally he had met Sri Krishna and he could imagine Sri Krishna because he had a clear understanding of him. In today's day and age, some people focus on the name, some people focus on the divinity itself. So there are lots of people who follow Sai Baba and Ramana Maharshi and Ramakrishna Paramahansa and so on and so forth. So what do? They focus on the picture of these people. So if you see in Ramakrishna Paramahansa's case, Ramakrishna Paramahansa's picture is there, right? So you can focus on the picture. Ramana Maharshi's photograph is there, so you can focus on that. Sai Baba's photo is there, so you can focus on that. When you have your guru, who is an enlightened master, you can focus on that guru's enlightened master himself. If you can't focus on his face or something like that, you can focus on the feet. This is the idea. So you can do the what is called as concentrate the mind on that. Rejecting all other practices. In the path of meditation, in the path of devotion, the devotional guru will never tell you to do anything else. No yoga, no pranayama, nothing. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Ramana Maharshi and all these great masters never said anything like that. Yogic activity today is directly related to, your physical body and your well-being. Yoga cannot be performed by normal human beings the way it is looked at. So what yoga can you do? So on the part of meditation, that yoga of devotion can be applied, which means you focus on this entity himself. Alright? So when you are doing this practice of just focusing on this entity, you have to drop all other activities. So you don't have to do anything else. Don't bother your head about anything else. So to achieve the highest achievement, that is whatever is the greatest achievement, it is only service unto Krishna. Devotion is all about seva bhavana. You know what seva bhavana means? Serving that master, serving Sri Krishna. That is all that is required. Focus on him completely and serve his purpose. See, we have so many purposes in our life. Men are serving their wives. Wives are serving their husbands. Families are serving their children. Parents are serving their children. Children are serving their parents. I mean, this is a petty kind of a service that you are doing. Is anybody serving the Lord himself? So you have to serve the Lord. You have to make meals and stuff like that, like puja, prarthana, whatever that you wish to, only for Sri Krishna. That is the basic criteria is that. So he does, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement. So serve him. Serving Sri Krishna's purpose. Superseding all the other methods. So it supersedes all other methods. And any other method is invalid, because you can't do any other method. Pranayama also, today's day and age, when you are sitting in a polluted city, I don't understand how anybody can do pranayama. You see the nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide and the levels of all these things and the dust that is around. You try doing pranayama, you will be dead very soon, sir, because what you are taking in your nose is nothing but the dust and polluted atmosphere. Even the coronavirus and all other viruses are in the air. So what are you taking? So pranayama, I don't know how anybody can do pranayama in today's day and age, because it's all polluted. The whole atmosphere is polluted. Secondly, yogasana. When you are doing yogasana, people are wearing all kinds of fancy equipment and taking equipments and all that. You know, yoga mats. I have never heard of all the Rishi Munis taking in yoga mats. Okay, then wearing those tight clothes, that also I think it is stupid. Absolutely. It is only for your show. So yogasana hardly anybody can do. Third, if you want to do any other activity, that also is invalid, because we don't have the clarity in our mind also. So that is why he is saying the only thing that you can do is follow the path of devotion in today's day and age. Take the name of the Lord, Nama Japa. Third, you can focus and concentrate on the image and serve the purpose of the Lord. That is it. So we are moving to verse 6 now. Canto 1, chapter 19, verse 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The river Ganga, by which the king sat to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. So this is a very important activity in India. Alright, what is the activity? The Ganga river is the one which gives birth to us, and the one where our ashes are also immersed. So immersing the ashes in the Ganga is the last activity a person does. So when Parikshit sits on the bank of Ganga river, Sri Krishna's feet had already touched the river. Do you remember him playing as a child in the Yamuna? You know that, correct? Please understand, the rivers, whichever river in India is there, is full of polluted stuff. Today, any river that you take in India is highly polluted. It is very dirty. It is not clean at all. So how does a river get pure? Here is the very clear understanding. When the feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves are dropped in Ganga river, then the river is sanctified and purified. So when those who know the story of Kukkut Swami, I am sure you remember Kukkut Swami's story, the three women who come to serve him in his ashram. Pundalik is watching these three women over there. This is Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Their clothes are very dirty, and when they clean the whole ashram and they go back, they have become pure and white. So when he asks them who they are, they tell them, we are Ganga, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. And how do they get sanctified? When they serve the Guru's feet. So when the great Gurus are served, when they dip their feet in the river, that time the river gets sanctified. This is also mentioned by Adi Shankaracharya when he was asked this question. So when he dipped his feet in the rivers, they became sanctified. So here there is a clear indication that because Sri Krishna had dipped the feet in Ganga river, the river was sanctified. And that is the reason why Parikshit sits over there on the banks of the river. Then this river sanctifies the three worlds inside and outside. This is a very clear indication that the river is inside also. Can you understand? The river is inside the person also. So always understand this. Spiritual significance, and those who are only interested in stories. There are two kinds of people in this world. One is that who is interested in Adhyatma. Adhyatma means spiritual significance. And the other person is a crass human being who is called an ignorant person who will only go after stories because he doesn't understand anything. So there are people who watch movies only for entertainment purposes, and there are people who watch movies for intellectual purposes. Correct? There are two types of people. In a similar manner, scriptures have to be always interpreted. So one is called the crass interpretation as a story, and the second one is a spiritual interpretation which the great masters will give you. Now, what is this particular point? Remember this. There is a point which is called the Sangam. Sangam. Sangam means what? Accumulation. Place where the rivers are meeting. Triveni Sangam. What is Triveni Sangam? Three. That means three. T-H-R-E, three number. Veni. Veni means when we see even the hair, when we are tying it in a plait, when a woman ties her hair in a plait, what happens? P-L-A-I-T. Okay, not P-L-A-T, P-L-A-I-T. Okay, so when she ties it, do you know where she ties it? She ties it at the back of this. That is called the cerebellum. And where does this tying happen? Inside. It happens at a very, very important location. Okay, that is called the brain stem. What is it called? The brain stem. So the brain stem is the place where the crossing of the river happens. Understood? So the river flows from there. When they join together, they become very powerful Ganga river. So Yamuna, Saraswati and Ganga all join at this particular juncture where Parikshit is sitting so that he can get the maximum benefit. Alright? I hope you get the point. So, the water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. So the blood, the river, the water is flowing from that particular place where the nerve centers are. They sanctify even Shiva. So the feet of Kali are at that place. Do you understand this? So there, the river flows from. Even the gods get the benefit. Even the gods get the benefit. See, he said over here, therefore that water which is coming from the feet of the Lord Sri Krishna, his feet are dipped over there and the tulsi leaves are flowing over there, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside also, and sanctifies even Lord Shiva and all other demigods. So the demigods also partake of this. Okay? Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter to the river. The river where it flows, there are places like Ujjain and other places down the river chain where the ashes are also immersed. I'm sure some of you have known that. So why? Because human beings get sanctified over there. Human beings get sanctified. Even the gods get sanctified. Even the demigods get sanctified. So he sits over there. Now, thus the king, that is verse 7, thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all and sat on the Ganga bank to fast unto death and gave himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is capable to award liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of association and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. This is a very important thing. When you sit at that particular location, okay, that is at that point, Parikshit sat over there. He decided that it is time for me to give up everything and become a sage. No worldly attachments, nothing connected with the world. I surrender myself to the feet of the Lord. Whatever He wills is what I am willing to do. Everything that He says, I can do in this world. He sat on the Ganga bank to fast unto death and give himself to the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. You have to surrender yourself at the lotus feet of Krishna. Now here Parikshit, remember, has already been informed that his death is nearby. Correct? And because his death is destined, he decides that now I have got these few days, I want to spend at the feet of Sri Krishna and get sanctified. So he sits over there so that he can get liberated and go to Goloka. So freeing himself from all kinds of association and attachments. Please understand, this is a very important lesson. Freeing yourself from association and attachments. Human beings love to be associated with everything. Human beings want to take care of their own siblings, their own children, their own, spouses and their house and their everything. They are expected to do that because they are purely in the material domain. They are interested in money, they are interested in power, they are interested in all other things. Nobody is interested in God. They just mouth it, I am interested in God. But the first service will be to their own kith and kin. Think about that. So if there is a woman, she is bothered about her husband and her children and her house and everything. Right? The husband is bothered about his wife, his children. The parents are bothered about their children and the children are bothered about their parents. They are bothered about their EMIs, their payments, their salaries, their businesses, everything connected. Please understand one thing. We love to pamper everybody a lot. We pamper our kith and kin to such a level that I was overhearing one person say, my son doesn't take bath in a wet bathroom. The bathroom has to be kept very clean and dried so that then he can take bath over there. I mean, what kind of a stupidity is this? It's a bath, it's a bathroom. The bathroom has to be wet. You think the bathroom has to be dry? If you are going to pamper your children to this level, what kind of an idiot parent are you? Please understand this. Your attachment to your own children and your husbands and your wives and all your parents and all is so much that you are bothered about drying the bathroom? My son doesn't eat this, my daughter doesn't do this, my this one doesn't do. What is this? Attachment to object, association and attachments. I want the brown color dabba only. I don't want any other color dabba. It's called an attachment. Please take care of my father, my mother, my children, my husband, my wife. You are talking about this in the material world. You are not worthy enough for any spiritual significance in this life. Please understand. Then human beings are going to be crass human beings. It is your karmic life. You will be born and you will be dead. You will be born, you will be dead. You will be born and you will be dead. But to become like Parikshit, you have to give up these stupid attachments and association with people. It doesn't mean that you should say, I don't give a damn. No. It means that you don't have to give so much of significance. A simple example which I gave you. Why does your son not take bath in a wet bathroom, please? What is the big deal in that? Kindly understand. Tomorrow when he goes, he may have to take bath in a river. You are going to go and clean that place up so that he can take a bath. If he joins, please understand, there are places in India or the world where you take a bath. Okay? You are in a hostel. Have you ever been to a bathroom of a hostel? If you pamper your children to this level, that man is going to think when he grows up, I need a very clean bathroom. You are pampering him to that level. I want to watch this, this video, then only I will eat my food. What is that habit? That is not a good habit. You have to cultivate your children into great human beings. And you yourself have to become great. So freeing yourself from all kinds of association attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. So this is the way in which you have to accept the vows of a sage. By giving up all kinds of association and attachments. Text 8, that is verse 8. At that time all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. All those who are associated with the divine will come and congregate on that place. I am sure you remember the Kumbh Mela which happened. Now in the Kumbh Mela that happened, all the sages and the saint congregated in the bank of the river Ganga. So in a similar manner, when such a great occasion is happening, all the sages, their saints, their disciples and everybody who is holy come over there. Now, when you want holiness, you have to be always in the company of the holy. So you people are attending satsangs. Tomorrow you are going to meet your bosses, your downlines, your wives, your children, your husbands, or whoever they are. Do you think those people are holy from any angle? No. The holy people are sanctified themselves. So you have to be in the company of the holy. So here when this great activity is happening, like say for example over here in our ashram when things happen, like say for example Guru Purnima happened some days back, and then at the end of the year the Tatre Jayanti happens, and then the part is done, Chandi part is done. At that moment in time, those who gather and those who listen to it, they are sanctified because of these holy words. So please understand this. All those who attend this kind of activities like bhajan, kirtan, parayan that is happening, they are sanctified by that. So when Parikshit is sitting over there, all the sages, the great minds and the thinkers, they assemble over there with their disciples. They don't come alone. They come with their disciples because disciples also get benefit. So they can sanctify and it becomes a place of pilgrimage. I am sure you understand why I take pilgrimages all over India. Those who have attended my pilgrimages understand this very well. First is they get to experience the Divine Lord's grace directly. So there is not a single time that it has ever happened that they have not got the grace. Second, they are in the company of the sages and they are disciples. So they get the benefit. So that is what is written over here. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Verse 9 and 10, from different parts of the universe there arrived great sages like Atri, Chavana, Sarvadan, Aristani, Bhrigu, Vashishta, Parashar, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parashuram, Uttaya, Inda Pramanda, Idmavahu, Medahatiti, Devala, Artisena, Bardwaj, Gautama, Pipalada, Maitreya, Aurava, Kavasa, Kumbhayoni, Dvapayana, and the great personality Narada. So all these great sages, they have assembled where Parikshit is sitting in meditation. And remember, the most important person's entry is yet to happen. Sukdev's entry is still to happen. So all these sages come. Now you will ask me, oh, the sages have come. What do the sages represent? The sages represent the knowledge. Do you remember when the Vedas were distributed? Were they given to the sages or no? So the sages are always to be considered as sagacious with in very high knowledge of the divine. So those who have knowledge of the divine are called sages. Who are the saints? Saints are holy people. Okay, they can also be sages, but a saint is a person who normally grants you favors. In most of the cases, you will find that there are saints distributed all over the world. These saints, when you go and meet them, like there is a place in Goa, Saint Francis Xavier, he is a saint. Okay, Saint Thomas is there in Chennai. Aren't they not there? Like that, there are saints across India. You will find that there is a place called Ajmer. Ajmer Sharif is there. We have a great saint in Shirdi, Sai Baba. So like that, there are various saints and sages distributed all over India. What is their main job? When you go over there and you ask them for something, they grant you, isn't it? All these Sufi saints and all that, I'm sure you have understood this. So those are saints. But sages are who? Sages are knowledge. They are the ones who impart the knowledge. Now let us see, externally the sages are knowledge based. Internally, what are they? Those are the pathways to the knowledge. Pathways to the knowledge. Information pathways. All right? The rest you will have to figure it out. Okay? So they all assembled over there, isn't it? So, when all these people have come together, so knowledge flows. Knowledge is imparted, knowledge is transferred, knowledge is distributed. So let us say, if you want knowledge, do we go to the library and open an encyclopedia or something like that? Don't we do that? Even today in Google also, you go and search for some information. So there is a lot of knowledge there, isn't it? So it is like that. You get knowledge. There are so many saintly demigods, kings and special royal orders called Arunadayas. That is a special rank of Raj Rishis from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. Now this is another important line which you should understand. There are demigods also coming. All these are called demigods. Remember, in the previous verse it was mentioned demigods. So Shivji and all others are demigods. Okay. Brahmaji is a demigod. Now let us say, who is a saint? Other saints. Saints, I just now explained to you, those who grant your wishes, blah, 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 all those things. They are saintly people. Kings, all the kings also gather. That means royalty people are there. And then there are the royal sages. They are called Raj Rishis. Who is a Raj Rishi? A Raj Rishi is a person who teaches you how to rule the world. He teaches you subject which is for the purpose of ruling your country or your nation. Like Chanakya, Confucius. I'm sure I have discussed many of these people with you. Confucius was an advisor. Chanakya was an advisor. Parshuram, he is a great sage who advises also. He is a combination of all that. We will come to know later on. Even Vishwamitra, remember he was called Vishwaratha earlier. He was a royal sage who gives knowledge about ruling kingdoms and how to fight wars, blah, 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 all those things, everything. So that is a subject, like the Artha Shastra which is there written by Kautilya. Okay, all these are called knowledge base. So I hope you understand that. They are called Arunadayas. They are from different dynasties of sages. So there are sages, they have given their knowledge to them how to do this. They are all assembled to meet the emperor, Parikshit. He is the emperor. And he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. First and foremost, everybody who wants to be great should not have an ego. They have to bow down and receive everybody with grace. Then only greatness comes. So we have come to the end of verse 11 and we will stop over here for today and we will continue from verse 12 tomorrow.
Recording stopped.